Hello everybody, in Dom 601, Rowan the Victory here, and here I am joined by...
Zane Reborn and Kevin. We are also joined by...
Yes, it's me, Picasso, and I'm joined by Sammy. Look at him. He's guarding. He's on. Look, he's keeping the eye out. If you come in my property, he'll bite your bleep off.
Okay, so the reason why I'm in a different location is because I'm in my kitchen. Because right now I'm busy looking after my dog, Harvey.
You have a sofa in your kitchen?
Well, it's a room that's connected to the kitchen.
So it's a fuck.
Open, is it
What's
like
the
open
word?
plan, where like the
Open
kitchen
plan,
has no
that's it.
wall between that kitchen and the living room or something?
Yes.
Oh,
Cringe.
yeah, there we go.
Harvey.
My grandparents have something like that.
Okay, my dog, it's like, he's old, he can be very grumpy, so like, I have to get his attention.
Is he allowed on the sofa?
No.
That's terrible.
And and even then, if he could, he wouldn't fit.
Oh.
Harvey, come on. He is not moving. He's just moving his head.
Look,
You know what? I'll move my I'll move my laptop. There he is.
yeah, all the pets.
Just okay. What you need to do now is if you leave the laptop there, and then don't want to
Just calm myself.
Yeah.
I'm just not in it. It's the dog talking.
If you just lay down, rest your head against your arm of your sofa. There you go. Perfect.
Go into
How
a
to do
sleeping
every
position.
podcast. Yeah, go to sleep. Just sleep. When you rewatch Breaking Bad for the third time. Jesse.
Jesse,
Read the cook, Jesse.
this shot isn't doing me any favors.
This is why I told you the camera technique. It makes you
I
look
know.
slimmer.
I can't make it go higher because right now it's on a table, and if I put a table on top of that table, it'll be like a tower.
Exactly. Just play Jenga with your laptop.
What can go wrong?
Smash.
Okay, so around a month ago, a certain somebody finished a certain film series.
Me! Oh no, sorry.
Yes, Orca made a movie.
Only patrons can see it.
Sign up for Orca's Patreon.
I don't monetize my audience, that's my job.
True. You need to set up your own Patreon.
Yeah, no.
Wait, so what were we originally talking about?
A Dinosaur Story Part 3.
Yeah, my movie. Oh, Kevin.
He tried to eat the camera.
Well, we just got a rare occurrence of the look inside Kevin's mouth.
Mmm.
He's staring right at me.
It's like we're trying to talk about my movie, and then one of the pets just steals the spotlight.
He's just staring right at me.
Yes.
I just looked away and looked back, and Orca just looks like that.
Me?
So we better respect the Orca.
Yes.
Nobody respects the Orca.
Excuse me, my buddy Moser does.
Oh, that reminds me. Actually, I finally got my hands on the extended edition.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Is it out on DVD?
Not in Britain. It comes out on the 25th of this month.
Unfortunately, there was like this whole thing where we had to buy it, but it's like we had to buy like 2 DVDs, because the Blu-ray edition and the extended edition, like a regular DVD, and we thought the regular DVD had the extended edition as well, but it turns out no, the extended edition is only on Blu-ray, so we had to.
But it both the Blu-ray and the 4K say on the box.
The box said Blu-ray plus extended edition plus DVD. So we assumed, oh, we get a Blu-ray edition and a regular edition. But it turns out the regular edition is just doesn't have any of the cool stuff in it. But then eventually, after a whole hassle of like going to like our cousins, because she has a Blu-ray player that they haven't used in like a year, so she just gave it to us, and we were able to watch it finally. The extended edition just adds a little bit of stuff at the beginning, and then doesn't really like it helps a lot at the beginning with like Rain and Macy, and like even the prologue. But then Kevin's now he's really staring at the camera. But then
I don't feel safe.
For like the rest of the movie, like once the Quetzal shows up and starts causing mayhem, then after that the extended edition really doesn't do much.
Which is where I really think the movie starts to go downhill a bit.
Although I will say, it was nice seeing the Lystro. Actually no, that was horrifying.
What, bite off a dude's arm?
Not just have you not seen the extended clip of the Lystro?
We've told you about the Oviraptor.
Yes.
So, this is the part where I try to remember everything that went on while I was making this movie. First fun fact, I think I had to film this movie a total of like 5 times.
It was 5.
Well, I probably stopped counting after. Okay, let's see. So there was the first version I made, and then I didn't like that one at all. Then there was one I made like entirely outdoors.
Yeah.
That one that one was also pretty bad.
Carry the one.
Then I did like 3 times indoors. Like I tried to do one within the setting of my kitchen, like the place where they meet up with the Dilophosaurus. It was supposed to be on a kitchen counter, but then my kitchen counter has terrible space, so it was super crowded, and it did not go well at all. I think I refilmed there twice before I decided, nah, this ain't working. Oh, Kevin, what are you doing? Until finally, I decided, you know what? Forget the kitchen. I got like there's this bed here. It's got lots of space. I'll film it there. And finally, I was able to get what I wanted.
The bed, the set of my future show.
Kevin, is this a poop stance?
He's dancing. This is my poop stance.
Where was I? Oh, yeah, right. Actually, I think I did.
Sorry, guys. Just need a cold one out real quick.
Sound effect.
While I was refilming, I was filming like towards the end. While I was inside like the room, the hallway, the chase scene. Right. I think I refilmed the battle with. So when Saltosaurus is like isolated from everyone else. Oh yeah, by the way, spoilers. If you haven't seen my movie yet, go watch it. I think I had to refilm that segment like twice. Each scene after they escaped Dilophosaurus's headquarters, I refilmed it twice because the first time I did, I'm like, nah, that didn't work. So I had to refilm it, and it took a lot of time. I think the Bakugan was like, now I'm remembering what I want to say. Biggest regret, including the Bakugan, because filming with them is not easy.
They look cool in the shot, though.
I'm aware, but it's like, holy moly,
it
dealing
made
with
me...
that many Bakugan and that many different moving parts and like,
It made me want to buy some and play them.
Yes, it turns out a Dinosaur is just a big Bakugan commercial.
The greatest advert of our time.
Just a full disclosure, though, I didn't include all my Bakugan in that shot.
All right.
I only included the ones that could actually stand up. Because, as you know, there are a lot of Bakugan that without the magnet, they'll just go... So, I did not want to deal with that.
I have a question about the whole reshoot thing.
Mm-hmm.
Did any of the original footage actually make it into the final cut?
Like, the original footage? Like,
yeah.
my very first shoot of it?
Yeah.
No.
Oh.
Everything that you've seen is part of, like the 4th or 5th reshoot or something.
Really?
Like, let me just see if I can think of what the first shoot was, because I don't think I saved any of the footage of that. So, let me think. The first one was entirely outdoors.
Right.
And I think what was the process? So then there was like this scene where they're just walking out, and there was a lot of, instead of robots, I just had a bunch of the toy trains out there. But I felt like, I think in the original script, I actually included. It wasn't just Duck as a mercenary. There was also Percy and James and Sticker Steamer as well. But I thought, nah, that feels too much of a plug-in to like the Thomas stuff. So I just cut them out entirely. And then I think the Quetzalcoatlus was supposed to have a bigger role in the movie as well.
Really?
Yes. But then I thought, nah, but there's not really any point to him anyway.
So you
So I
just
thought-
killed him off in a flashback.
Just kill him in a flashback. Only has one line of dialogue.
Voiced by yours truly, the
Yeah.
man of 50 voices,
New Yorker's first death.
and one of many to come.
I think like the first movie I made was the only one that had like everything you saw there was the first attempt.
Right.
The second movie was mostly just like that was just my second reshoot. The first time I did it was just not good. And the third one is just like reshoot after reshoot after reshoot. And none of the original footage actually came to the movie.
Right.
Another fun fact, one of the old footage I had was like during the time machine, like another plan was like only a few people would get stuck in the time machine and a majority of them would be left behind in the future. But and then one of them was Noasaurus, who was lost in time. But I thought then he spends a majority of the movie separated from Dilophosaurus, and that just didn't sound right because they're supposed to be interacting a lot. So I cut it out and said, you know what? How about instead of a few people get lost in time, everyone gets lost in time? And then one of those things. Oh, Orca has something to say.
I just have a question. I have a very litrical question. How does the creative process?
Yeah.
Like, what do you do? Did you write a script? Did you have a plan in your head and then write a script, or did you record bits? Did you make up as you go along and then tweak stuff as you go?
Okay, so here's what I did. First, I watched the original movie. Like, I skimmed through it to see, okay, that's when this happens, that's when that happens, that's when this happens. So I know so I have it fresh in my mind. So I know what I'm doing. And then I just grab whatever toys I need. And then I in my head, I imagine, okay, this is how I want things to go. It's probably not going to go that way, but that's how I want things to go. And then I just click the button. So I'm like, okay, I'm ready. I click the button. No, wait, I'm not ready. Okay, here I go again. And then I click and I just roll with it. I just roll. And then there are many times where it's like, okay, here's how it goes. I click the button and I just say, hello, my name is Flippy McGiffert. No, that's not right. Hello, my name is Flippy McGiffert. Nope, that's not right. Hello, my name is Flipper McGuffin. No, I got it wrong again. Let me just hang on. Let me just get this right. And I stop recording.
You sound like me recording audio.
Yeah, that do be how voice acting works.
There are some cases where I do get it right on the first try, and I just roll with it. But then there's sometimes like I get a line of dialogue messed up. Like I mess up one line of dialogue, and that leads to a different chain of reactions. And then eventually I'm like, where am I going with this? Okay, let's backtrack. And that's basically it. I did not write a script. I just did what was in my mind and I just rolled with it.
I will say, since you did like a whole trilogy, I think at this point, like, your movies altogether are longer than the original.
They are?
I think they are.
How long is the original? 3 hours?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I guess mine has an extra 40 minutes. So yeah, I am longer than the original. Not sure how I was trying to aim for shorter.
Even though, and even then, I'll say, I think yours is a lot better than the original. But Olga has a question.
Don't say mine is better.
Yes, I'll say yours is better.
Oh, I'll be crucified if you say that.
Yours is better.
No! No! Don't take me away! Don't send me to Brazil! Okay, Orca, you had a question. Again.
What's the series based off? For people who don't know, aka me. The original story. What is original? What is originality as a concept?
He's basically asking what you were adapting.
Yes.
Well, if it wasn't obvious already, a dinosaur story by Hoops and Dino Man, which was like a very old movie about like
A
two-
toy
it
movie
was-
on YouTube.
yeah, YouTube movie. Two brothers just grabbed their toys and made a whole movie about dinosaurs just trying to find a new home after their valley was flooded.
Oh, okay. So what you've done basically is you watched them. Did you do it one for one remake? Did you take the base story then did your own thing, or how much did you diverse from the original?
Huh. I think mostly I gave a lot of them complete character refreshes. Like, I don't think there's a single character who's the same as from the original.
French Allosaurus.
Yeah, but his voice is different.
Oh,
And he's way more heavy emphasis on the French. Other than that, other than that, what else? There's like a whole different thing. Except it's like the same story, but like lots of variations to it. Like, there's a girl Saltosaurus, and the addition of there's a history behind Nightmare Canyon, and that there's like a whole thing with Pteranodon instead of him like being like the what's going on with Orca?
Are you okay?
I just looked out my window because my bedroom's right at the front of the property, right?
Right.
I just looked over and there's just a guy staring at me.
Don't feel safe.
I almost recorded this in my front room. The main reason why I didn't was because of that.
It's alright, I got my guard dog to protect me. Oh. Wake up!
This is why I record in a room with no windows. Well, actually, there is a window, but it's sealed off.
The
Random
more
facts.
you know.
Sorry, I had to go full like interviewer mode, because I don't know, I wanted to.
Very well. Ask. Yeah, we that should have been what we started with. Ask questions. Go ahead.
Yeah. Can I also ask what's like your favorite moments? What's your favorite scene? Because personally, for me, my favorite scene was the. Sorry, let me just get fully adorned. My favorite scene was going into the card world. I loved that moment. That was hilarious for me.
Dominus, what about you?
Okay, before we go on to my favorite scenes, I just want to say I was watching the live chat as the card scene appeared, and like I'm pretty sure some super sketch show guy quoted it perfectly, by saying, "I am pretty sure I have said WTF 5 times while watching this."
I was kind of honest. If I'm being honest, I was kind of scared to include the card world
Right.
because I was like, well, I know all of your audience knows about it, but then about my audience, there's like a good chunk of people who probably, no matter how many times I advertise it, don't even know about the DKC. So including this, they're gonna be like, what the hell is this trash? I was so worried that was gonna happen. But then it turns out it's like, I don't think anyone, well, it's not that I'm aware of, is really too bothered by it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you two said it's absolutely hilarious.
I
So
loved
that's
it.
Yes.
Mainly because
so
I've
then
got
that
most of the
makes me
references.
feel like, yeah, this was a good idea. I'm glad I included this.
And like, you have a moment where like, is it Carl who says, "Why is your Sodasaurus screaming all the time?" And then like Plankton says, It's-
I prefer that over what our Saltosauruses are doing.
"Speed."
Speed.
It's just spinning in the background.
It's just spinning in the background. I love how like that's become like the thing for Sodasaurus. Because like we never gave him a voice.
Technically, you did.
Did I?
But it was like one line of dialogue, and we never used it again.
Huh.
Huh.
I prefer Spin.
Yes, that is his voice from now on.
He just spins. I'll be fully honest. My first 2 times watching it, I probably would have cried at like the moment where they're in heaven. Like, I probably would have cried if it wasn't for a few jokes in there. Like, oh, you must be crushed. Oh, your father must be crushed. Actually, no, we went splat.
Is that how hard you laughed when I said that? When he said that?
I laughed harder.
Okay, good. Because that's the most important reaction I want from these movies, just to make people laugh their heads off.
Yeah, and there's also the two other moments of, oh, she's finally gone bananas. Bananas haven't evolved yet.
And then Dimension on response with, neither has grass, yet here we are.
And also there's just the Gallimimus.
He just teleports.
The teleporting Gallimimus.
And then he just comes out with his deep voice. I win the competition.
He should have just said speed.
Why? Why do we need speed? We already have speed.
And even then, you might not be able to catch it because the music is a bit loud. But like, Dilophosaurus goes, speed. I am speed.
Fast and fast. I am lightning.
Remember, was that
Kachiga.
was that? Did he do that when he was like? When did he do that? Because I know there are like two moments he possibly could have done it. I'm trying to remember when he did it.
When he was preparing to run.
Yes. I don't think it was the music that was too loud. It was everyone else that was too loud.
I mean, like, I'll fully admit, my raw audio is very quiet. And like, I was expecting you to make it louder.
I did.
No, you did.
I for a majority of the clips, I had to raise the volume because you were just too quiet. And yet, apparently I didn't raise it up enough.
Yeah, because like one of the few critiques I have with the whole trilogy is that at certain moments the music can be too loud.
This is what happens when I don't have headphones.
There's a ice cream van right across my street and I can hear it.
Ice cream! Let's go! Ice cream!
Ice cream!
I just realized I'm not there.
My hair is really matching my outfit at the moment.
You're starting to look like a mad scientist.
Sorry.
Okay, like in the original, I can't remember this. I don't know if I'm remembering this right or not. Wasn't there like some kind of reviving machine or something?
The life machine, yes. It happens somewhere after they escape Nightmare Canyon, and the T-Rex followed them and killed one of the Saltosauruses. And Pteranodon just says, "Why don't you use the life machine?"
And like that clearly wasn't included in yours.
I remember specifically having a conversation with you and Sketchy, and how you basically Sketchy said, actually no, it wasn't just you two. There was a lot of people who said, "Get rid of the life machine." Like I think I remember talking with Sketchy, you and Sketchy about this, and I was like, okay, what about no life machine but less death? And then he was like, "Oh yeah, that's a great idea." At least I think that's how I remembered it.
Right.
That was like years ago. That was, oh my gosh, years ago when Dinosaur King first started.
Was it?
It was like when we had him as a guest, probably.
Really?
Yes.
I have a question.
I just blew his mind. I just blew his mind on how old we are.
We are very old.
Yes, Orca.
Hello.
Hello.
No.
Question.
Yes.
Yes, that I assume that's what you raise your hand for.
Give me a second to formulate words in my brain. It takes a little bit longer than the average.
Innominous! Do you have a question for me?
I was about to speak!
Okay, say it then!
How did you come up with all those voices?
Yeah, how do you?
Let's see. I just look at the character and think, what's a voice that just fits him? I mean, for like, things like the Carcharodontosaurus, that one is, okay, so curious thing, I know a lot of people hate Carnivorous' voice, but it's like that's the character I've given him since before. No, wait. I think it was like 2013 I gave him that voice. And he wasn't even supposed to be Carnivorous. He was supposed to be a Giga. Anyway, that's the voice I always gave him. Although I guess okay, but back to the voices thing. This is how I answer interviews. I think of one subject, I think of another, I think of another.
Yes.
And as for the voices, I just look at a character and think, what fits you? I just try out a bunch of different voices. Like, Guten Tag, my name is I have the bad accent.
My name's you.
My name's Jeff.
What are those?
I just try out a bunch of different voices.
He specifically only quotes really old, out-of-date memes.
Your mum.
Like he just goes up to people. He just goes up to somebody and just says Gangnam Style and just goes on with his day.
Whoop, whoop,
Like,
whoop,
actually,
whoop.
let me pull out one of my dinosaur toys and see if I just figure out the voice for them or something. Like how the thought process. This one was literally just like I just used my typical like just I just raised my voice a bit to sound more like I'm not really good at making like a female voice, so I just raised my voice a little bit. I'm not even sure her voice was very consistent. Sometimes it sounded a lot lower than it should have been. Just sounded like my regular voice. But then other times where it just sounds a lot very high pitch.
I can.
And it goes for a wide range of motion here.
What you could do if you want female voice, shift your resonance up into the up here and forward, so it sort of like flows out. You should feel it sort of vibrating around the teeth, front teeth. Around here.
Yeah, no, I can't control my voice like that. I just talk.
You don't need to raise your pitch up a lot. That's a very misconception. You don't need to go. "Ah!" You just slightly.
For Dimension, it's pretty
slightly
easy.
raise
All I
it.
gotta do is like lower my voice, and then it's just
And then it's just phrasing after that, and then you're a woman.
I mean, I was just trying to give my demonstration for Dimensionon, but okay, sure. I mean,
You're not a woman. Get out of here.
No, so I've got two things to say about Dimetrodon. Like, I really like how for a few shots you snuck. Orca won't get this, but like you put Spank in a few shots.
I'm sorry. Who?
towards the end, yes.
And I will say, Spank is a very unfortunate name.
I was going to say, it sounds on the cusp of being rude.
I'm not sure
Spank.
what
I know it is
2-year-old
a
me
rude
was
word.
thinking when I named it Spank.
You too.
No, I wasn't 2. I'm not. He's so like it's just like this guy is so old that he and Spank are so old that I'm not even sure how old I was when I named them.
Right.
Actually, no, my brother named them. I think he was okay. The story behind this guy. Let me think of my words.
Your brother.
So he was
knows
going
what's
through
up.
this phase where he felt like Permian creatures and Triassic creatures, he always assumed they were jealous of dinosaurs because they're not well known. And how Dimensionon's always grouped in with dinosaurs, even though it's not. And he took this guy, this toy, and made it like, okay, this guy hates all dinosaurs. He's envious of them. And that's basically where this character came from. This guy had no association with a dinosaur stories Dimensionon in any way. Until now.
Yeah.
I just sort of fused the characters together because I'm like, why not? And now he was probably for the first movie, he was the most hated character.
Alongside Nosaurus.
Yes, that's right. But that's the first movie. That's for a different discussion.
And then his daddy came in.
Yes, his father came, voiced by yours truly.
I will say, like, I think it was right before we started the podcast. Like, used to start the call early because I was running late, and like I joined the call, and like I think used to were talking about music for some reason, and like I get to the end credits scene, and I see why. I see what you were talking about.
Oh my god! Only one person. Well, right. I have a slight thing about that. Right. The person commented, is that the Ice Age 3 music and then dead emoji? Technically, yes, it's in Ice Age. But it's a good song anyway! That's it.
What?
It's that song that I sung is in Ice Age 3.
Is it?
Yeah, where Scrat finds his love.
Oh, now I know.
You'll never find another love like mine. Someone who needs you tender like I do.
You'll never find.
Do-do-do. Another love like mine. Oh, he
I don't know the rest of the lyrics.
He didn't like my singing, so he pissed off out of my room.
Good job, Pops.
Fuck off.
There we go. Rare encore from my dad here. Dimetrodon's out.
I will say, I was very surprised when like Orca had like quite a few speaking lines, because like the only voices I was aware that he was doing were the voices that were like available for anyone to do. So it would have been the Parasaurolophus with the Titanoboas. And that's the only thing I thought Orca voiced, but no.
He voiced more.
I like voice acting. I want to do it more. But no, I don't know if it's like clear in the thingy, but I know, although they're like the power guy with the Titanoboas and the shotgun have pretty much his exactly the same accent, because they're basically just stereotypical Southern America. I did actually slightly change the sound of the voice. There is a slight difference between them.
Yeah, because like the Parasaurolophus sounds friendly. Shotgun doesn't.
Shotgun, like, yeah, the shotgun's a bit more deeper. He's up here. Folks.
I will say that like your voice for Parasaurolophus is like perfect for it.
Yes.
I do that. No, I do. Thank you. I should just say thank you.
Oh yeah, no, so I voiced the character.
Yes. Indominus, why don't you give us some insight on your character?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, and you almost voiced two characters.
yes. Okay, so I only voice one character in the movie. I voice the villain Dilophosaurus. And like, I think you sent the lines to me like 2 weeks before the movie, before it released.
Yeah.
And like, at first I was like, it'll be fine. But no, I had 19 minutes worth of lines to go through. And like, normally I'll do like, I'll send Zane like 3 takes of a line. So
I was like, no, I don't want to go through that much.
we didn't do that this time around, and like, especially since we were doing it on quite short notice because of scheduling conflicts, and like, a lot of the lines in the later half of a movie are the first takes, and then there's the yelling lines where I like screamed at the top of my lungs.
How many people turned their heads to look at you during that time?
Nobody.
Oh.
Nobody was around when I did them. I disposed of them all.
Because like, I actually tried to act.
Acting?
What, you mean you didn't plan to?
Well, yes, because like in the first movie, I went, ooh, of course, since he's trying to disguise himself, how about he puts on like a fake voice? And my thoughts going into that were like, ooh, what if I make this voice like sound very safe and calming, and like approachable? Like, how did I do the voice?
It was like something like just a normal voice, but a little bit deeper.
Troubles. I think it was something like this, kind of like my tank voice.
Actually, yeah, it was pretty much like that.
Yeah, and then there's And then there's his actual voice, which he does slip into a few times in the first movie on purpose.
Yes.
And like, his actual voice is straight up just Spiney's.
Yes, you just switch from Spiny to Tank, or Tank to Spiny.
And like, I was very scared because like, Spiny appears in the movie. And I was like, ooh, if Spiny and Dilophosaurus appear relatively close to each other, I might not get away with it. But like, nobody noticed.
Yep. Because Spiny's like, he only has one line, he only has a few lines of dialogue.
Yeah. And like, I've been doing Spiney's voice for literal years. Because like, Spiney's voice was one of the first like funny voices I ended up doing. The first time I did it was like, was the first time I was watching Transformers Dark of the Moon, and like Laserbeak appeared on screen because Laserbeak has more lines than Soundwave, and like I heard his voice and went, "Ooh, I like that voice. Why don't I try and do it?" And then I just did it, and then Spiny was born.
So Spiny came from Laserbeak, confirmed.
Oh.
Orca looks done.
I'm very interested. I don't
Also
think
a dog.
what the noise I
Also-
just made appeared on Discord, but you're definitely gonna catch that in the edit.
Okay.
Also Indominus. What about you also almost voiced the Miragaya.
Yes, I can't pronounce his name. Oh, what was it?
Death the Kitagaya.
Def the Kitagaya. I'm calling him Def. I was originally supposed to voice Def because, like, I found his lines very funny. But like, if I ended up doing his lines, I would have submitted them, like, a day before the movie was supposed to come out. And, like, I listened to Zane's lines and I went, he's probably doing this better than I could. And, like, so I just went, hey, Zane, keep your lines. I like where you did it, and so you can actually finish the film, like, not last minute.
I'm pretty sure the moment you said that, I'm like, okay, and I just immediately hit render.
I was holding you back.
Oh. Can I have a question? Can you never make me do a South American accent again? Not
Yeah,
South
no.
American, South USA accent again. Because, gosh, it always wrecks my voice.
Well, if the Parasaurolophus ends up showing up again, you'll have to do it.
I will. But also,
When Shotgun shows up again, you'll have to do it.
shotgun.
Yeah, when?
Yeah.
Not if,
When?
It's just
when.
inevitable at this
When?
point. I would like, to be honest, I would like to experiment more though, because I know I
Yeah.
can do a lot more voices, and especially now as I've had like voice training, so
Mhm.
I know how to manipulate my voice a lot better.
Got it. Next time I do like another big movie, I'll just give you you get first picks.
Yes, but actually, that's going to be a question. I don't know if it's a bit too early to ask, but what's going to be the feature? Are you going to carry on? Are you going to make your own own original series? Are you just going to make another trilogy?
Here's the thing. The original movie has a sequel.
Okay, now this is where okay. So, when I did this, while making this movie, I was already thinking, what about a Dinosaur Story 2? Another dinosaur story.
Right?
And I was like, I mean, on one hand, I'm not really too sure about making that one. But on the other hand, what if a lot of people want me to make it? But then on the other hand, I could probably come up with a few cool ideas for it. And okay. So, after a while, I decided I'll leave it up to interpretation. I feel I ended the movie in a way that if people want me to stop, I can stop right there. It's satisfying the way it is. But if people want me to continue, I can continue. So it's really entirely up to the audience if they want more or not.
Yes.
And I will say, I did notice that you put like a little teaser of it at the very end.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Someone finally noticed. You're gonna have to put up like a screenshot of it right here.
Yeah.
It's a little faded image. Like, what did you see in the image?
I don't know what the Beyblade was called, but like it was a Beyblade in like some kind of like statue thing. Yes, that.
Yes, actually. Okay, so what I did, the little rock thing you saw, that was actually Kevin's terrarium.
Oh,
He has a little skull in his terrarium.
Kevin's the Guardian.
Uh, no, actually, let's see if I can send the image. One moment.
You're gonna have to include this bit.
I didn't even notice the Triceratops in the back.
Good. He was shrouded. He was shrouded in mystery.
This is the
Also-
reveal.
I also added like the two glow in the dark paras in there.
All right.
So like I feel like that's like a good teaser or like a good Easter egg. If anyone wants me to continue, then that's basically what's gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
This is the treasure. What was the treasure before? A cylinder?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it was a cylinder. It was just a yellow cylinder.
While on about Kevin, I have a few questions about his scene because like there's moments when he's not on screen and moments when he are and moments when he is. Like, did you film all of that in the same day and you had like Kevin in like a box in the side, or did you like only film the parts with Kevin when Kevin was there?
Okay, Kevin. When I go out to. Okay, here's the thing. Ever since I got Kevin before A Dinosaur Story 2, Escape from Nightmare Canyon. So ever since then, every time I go outside to film, I take Kevin with me.
But he was in the second one.
Yeah, that's why I said I got him before I started filming.
Oh,
What did you hear after?
yes.
No, before. So basically, the fun fact about the second one, the whole time I was filming, Kevin was just attached to my back. Like he was basically hanging onto my back and he would not let go.
It was attached to your back.
Kevin has this thing where he can just sit on people's shoulders or he can just climb on my back and he just won't let go.
I can't unsee the image. Just like a man like holding his phone, playing with dinosaurs, as a bearded dragon sits on his shoulder.
We need fan art of that. We need fan art of that.
It's crazy because it's like where I filmed the Dinosaur Story 2. I mean, sorry, no, not 2. The second movie, it's just like it's in a public playground. So it's like kids keep coming and they just see me playing with dinosaurs and they just see the dragon on my back. And then they're always like, the first thing they always say is that real?
No. It's an
They
animatronic.
always ask, is it real? Can I pet it? Does he bite? What does he eat?
Me. He eats
And then there was
you.
one kid. There was just one kid who was like really basically Kevin, like just playing with, like just watching Kevin, petting him. And as I'm talking to the kid's parent, I'm saying, well, I'm pretty sure like my mom is like, aside from me, my mom is Kevin's biggest fan. And the little girl responded, actually, I'm Kevin's biggest fan.
Bro, if Kevin had his own Instagram account, he would easily be like break us in terms of
Yes.
followers.
I get myself an Instagram account and I get Kevin his Instagram account. Kevin's Instagram account gets more.
Right, he'll blow up. He'll become a full-time influencer.
Yeah.
You'll be getting brand deals out the wazoo,
Because of
T-shirt.
Kevin.
and he'll
Kevin
be
on
able
a
to buy a wazoo.
Actually, no. Kevin's T-shirt wouldn't be on the T-shirt. It would be like a blank T-shirt.
You can have
But then you look at the back and you just see a printout of Kevin on the back.
You can have Kevin merch.
Why haven't I done that yet?
That is fantastic.
Because you would have to make merch.
That is true.
Yes.
I don't have a merch guy.
I have contact. No, I don't actually have contacts.
And like,
I wish.
let's all admit it. If any of us made merch, none of it would sell.
It's true. That's probably true. Except maybe Orca, maybe.
No. I've had a Patreon for like a month and nothing's happened.
I was answering Kevin questions. That's right.
Kevin, yes. Also,
So
actually, yeah.
Kevin,
What would you say about people accusing you of animal abuse?
I say that's BS. Because I did so much research on how to take care of Kevin. Like, when I first got Kevin, I'm always making sure that he's healthy and that he's comforting. And every time he does, literally, like the first time I had him, every time he did something, like, what does that mean? What does that mean? I need to look it up. Oh. And then literally every time I looked everything up, it was always like, oh, your bearded dragon is dying. Like, literally everything I type in, it's always a bad thing.
Google do be like that.
Yeah.
Yes.
I have like a red lump. What does it mean? You're dying.
But in all seriousness, after a while, I figured out like how to Kevin's routine, what he likes, what makes him happy, what he needs. So I make sure that Kevin is living his best life. Yes.
You are aware for animal abuse. First off, they were joking, and also because they were specifically referring to when Kevin was fighting Carnivorous, I think.
Yes, I'm aware that was a joke.
Kevin can easily fight them off. Have you seen him? He's a gym bro. He's secretly, whenever Zane's back's turned, he's lifting weights. I can tell. I can see.
He joins the Giga.
Yeah. Or the Nososaurus from Camp Cretaceous.
Yes, that's the joke.
So yeah, back to Kevin. So how I film with him, basically, as I said, he just comes with me to the park whenever I film, and he just sits down. He just watches me, and then often like I'm filming, and then every time when Kevin moves, I'm not worried about him like running away because the way Kevin moves, it's like this.
This is a very thrilling reenactment.
He can't really, like, I think the thing is, because the way his legs are positioned, when he runs, he can't breathe. So that's why he can only run in short bursts. I know, it's an unfortunate existence.
I mean, to be honest, that is exactly the same as me. Like, if I run, I can't breathe either. But that may be because I'm extremely unfit.
So that's why I'm never worried about him running. Also because the park is just open space. We're far away from trees.
Mm-hmm.
So then whenever I film with him, and then when he basically sits in a corner, watches me, and then every time he sees a bug, nyam. And then whenever I need him, I'm like, okay, Kevin, come on. I pick him up and I just let him do whatever he needs to do.
Did you know that like dogs have a nose clock? Yeah, they can tell time by the scent in their nose.
Are you just lazy then?
Okay, that's all I got on the Kevin stuff, so what's the next question?
I was being a true reporter then, asking all the hard-hitting questions. What is it like now that you're a famous movie maker?
Am I though? Am I famous?
Yes.
Huh. I don't feel famous.
It's alright. I mean, Hollywood will pick you up any second now. I guarantee it.
I mean, if they do, I'll probably freeze on the spot and go, I don't feel, like, it doesn't feel famous, because, like, the movies are getting attention, but my videos are still, like, pretty random when it comes to how many views they get.
Dude, like, who's being sarcastic?
Gee, I couldn't tell.
Sorry, I'm British. My
Oh,
sarcasm
no, I legitimately thought he meant that I was actually going to get Hollywood knocking on my door. I legitimately thought that Hollywood was going to, right as I finished the sentence, is going to knock on that door and invite me. But seriously, though, I'm expecting any moment Colin Trevorrow is going to come in and invite me to direct the next Jurassic World movie.
Hands up, you're a better writer than the writers of the Nine Realms. So,
yeah.
It's so weird, though, that, like, it's just weird to, like, have me compared to, like, anything, really. Because I still feel like the silly YouTuber. Because my main thing is, like, getting people to laugh. Literally saying anything. People just start grinning stupidly. Like, right now, we're already working on Indominus. You see that? He's giggling, he's laughing.
Away.
It's working. That's my thing. That's my gift.
My gift is just to look stupid.
I don't have one.
The 3 gifts: sound stupid, look stupid, and nothing.
Okay, so I'm gonna break away from the questions and actually get to like a deleted scene from the movie.
Ooh,
Behind the scenes.
Okay,
the
so you know how
extended
they kept
edition.
getting lost through time and all that, right?
Yeah.
So one of those scenes was supposed in a past attempt, like probably the first attempt I made it, when it was the people who got lost in time were Noasaurus, female Zoltosaurus, Amanda, Pteranodon, and
Amanda.
Daryl was chasing after them.
Right.
Just Daryl, just Dimorphodon Daryl. And they
Okay.
all got ended up in time, into the time when basically like it was sort of supposed to be a Dino Duels Easter egg with the Raptor Squad versus the Indominus Rex.
Hmm.
That was supposed to be in the movie, and then it was also supposed to be. I pulled out all of my human mercenary characters, all the vehicles I had. There was supposed to be this big 8-minute battle. Well, the raw footage was 8 minutes. I probably could have trimmed it down to 4.
Right.
And then that was supposed to be where Daryl meets his demise to the Indominus Rex. But then I thought, after doing that footage, I'm like, that doesn't really add anything, does it?
Yeah.
So I just scrapped it.
And I do prefer his actual fate in the movie.
His fate is just, no, eaten by Indominus? Nah. Shot down.
Shot to death.
Just a pew-pew, and he's dead.
And I will say, like, going back to my lines, I do believe, like, a few of them. I did adjust a few of your lines.
Yes. Well, specifically when Dilophosaurus dies.
When the Dilophosaurus dies, I full on just like improvised a line.
Yes, you did. The original line was no, but then you said, "Curse you, Noasaurus."
I mean, hey, it's better.
Yes, it is. I'm like, ooh, that's way better. I'm using it.
Because like because like the whole entire point of his whole goal throughout the movie is to like hunt down a Noasaurus.
Hunt
He
down
blames
the Freeman.
he blames him for everything. So like at the end we could kind of like bring that to an end by him cursing him out and blaming him for his own demise.
Another thing about Dilophosaurus, this is the thing. This is probably the one time I had, because for the most part, while doing these movies, I was always listening to the comments, taking in their feedback of what they wanted. Like, a lot of them I took into account how everyone didn't like Dimetrodon, and I said, okay, I'll make him more likable. And then I also took into account like a lot of other things, but then one of the things that I couldn't accept was like everyone wanted Dilophosaurus to be redeemed, and everyone kept saying, I want to see Dilophosaurus's redemption. And then I'm like, but I don't want to redeem him. I want to give him a Disney villain death.
Was that because I gave him like a more approachable voice?
No. Apparently it's just something that's been going on. A lot of people just wanted him to like be redeemed or something. It's just a common thing amongst Dinosaur Story fans.
Oh.
That I'm aware of anyway. Because every comment I see, redeem him. And I'm like, I'm silently like, I can't do that. I don't want to do that. I'll accept all the other feedback, but I won't accept that.
There's a bird.
A bird? Where?
Is it a plane?
It's on my fence. I can see it.
Wow.
Okay.
That actually reminds me of something stupid. While I was watching the extended edition, I looked out my window, and there was a squirrel just staring at me.
It wanted to watch the movie.
Like, I literally looked outside, and it's just... I'm like, okay. There's just a squirrel staring at me.
Squirrels
just so
do
randomly
that. Do that. Can I ask though? I kind of find it funny that the main villain's motivation for doing all this is that he lost a race.
Actually, fun fact about that one, because a lot of people didn't. This is another thing that's just a common thing with Dinosaur Story fans. they did it. They apparently don't like his motive in the original A Dinosaur Story, like the one made by Hoops and Dino Man. At least as far as I'm aware, from all the comments I've read, they don't like that motive.
Okay.
So then I thought, okay, a lot of people want me to change the motive, but what if instead I keep the motive, but I amplify it a little bit?
Yes.
Instead of him just losing the race and him just doing all this because he's a sore loser, he does it because, like, he suffered an injury and he can never. Basically his whole career is just flushed down the toilet.
Yeah, it makes it a little bit more understandable.
I will say, like, of course, like, the Dilophosaurus, like, injures himself while running, and, like, 2 weeks after I recorded that line, I injured my leg while running.
It's a cursed prophecy.
Swear, it wasn't me.
What have you done to my leg, Zane?
Completely coincidental. Complete coincidence. It's not my fault.
Can I ask though, will you actually make an original story? Do you think you would do something like that?
In terms of a movie, that's a maybe. But I know in terms of original stories, I've already gotten like three different series with original stories.
Mm.
You know, Dino Duels, Movies United. I guess you can count Sodor's Dinosaurs. Those are all original stories.
This might be unintentional, but like, for the last like 5 years, me and you have like created like a mini multiverse. Because, like, at the center we have Dinosaur King, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And like, Dinosaur King has appeared like in 2 of your shows. It has appeared in Sodor's Dinosaurs, therefore connecting Sodor's Dinosaurs to Dinosaur King.
Also, the fact that Sodor's Dinosaurs has technically appeared in Dinosaur King.
Yes. No, so we have a Dinosaur Story, which appeared in Dinosaur. No, we have Dinosaur King that appeared in a Dinosaur Story, and a few cameos in the final episode. Okay, so our 3 main projects are already connected.
Yes.
But if we go even further into Sodor's Dinosaurs, we have my other shows, which is Blue the Destroyer,
Yes.
which is connected to Bedroom 99 because Blue appears in that.
So do the Raptor Brothers.
And that's supposed to take place in the same world as my other show that didn't last too long, Jurassic Mates. So, like, over the past 5 years, we've accidentally created a giant multiverse.
Yes, completely accidental.
It's alright. You just need to connect anything that I make into it, and then we'll have the MCU in like a matter of moments.
Yeah, but
You just gotta pick your best mascot. Let's see. Hang on. All of you pick your mascot for the multiverse. There's my mascot. He's the first member of the multiverse.
I'm dressed up as my member of the multiverse.
I don't have anything with me, so I just have my giant water bottle.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, yes. What a cast. Water bottle. Thomas and Thomas. I realize I'm looking the wrong way.
This character's name is Dr.
Ballsy Shuckums.
Hey yo, it's Dr. Ballsy Shuckums, yeah? I gotta give you science facts. 1. The Earth's rare army is cuboid.
And thus we have the villain for the next A Dinosaur Story movie.
You take your electrons, you take your protons, you ignore your neutrons, and then you don't have atoms.
Doesn't that one hurt your voice as much as the American voice?
If I sustain it, then yeah. Can it be animated?
No.
No! No! I won't do that!
Well, no, actually, I mean, I don't know if this is a bit too of a personal one though, so I can ask it. You can cut it out later.
Yeah.
But I'm sort of curious. As in, is this all just for fun? But did you? Is this just, or is it like a bit of practice? Do you want to like? Do you wish to become a writer or some sort of filmmaker in later on as like a career or something? Am I reading way too much into this?
I mean, if I'm looking into it, I don't really look that. I haven't looked that far. Like, I haven't thought about that much. But really, yeah, this is all for fun. So it's mostly just me having fun.
Like, but I just find it interesting because all of this is like great practice. You know what I mean? Like,
It's a bit of both, but it's like a little bit of practice and mostly just leaning towards mostly for fun.
yeah, but that's how literally everyone starts out in terms of this sort of field. Like, they do it for fun. I mean, to be honest, personally, I really like your voice acting.
Yeah.
Like, your voice acting is definitely strong. You could definitely become quite a good voice actor.
Yes.
But I don't know if you're actually like genuinely like interested in pursuing that.
I probably could. I could definitely do it. I could definitely see myself with all my 100 different voices that I have. I could definitely become a brilliant voice actor.
It's alright. When I make my own cartoon, you're definitely going to be a voice actor for that.
Yeah. So how about this? You make your cartoon. I'll voice act.
Yes, I'm here too.
You'll be there.
I'm the only person here who's like studying to become a filmmaker. And like I have the least experience out of all of us here.
No, definitely. No, I'm gonna need you though. I am gonna need you in doing this.
So in terms of future plans, what I want to work on next. So again, if people want a dinosaur story, I'll probably give them another dinosaur story. I'll give them that. And then, but then on the other hand, I really want to get back to Movies United. I want to get that. I want to get that going because I got a lot of things going on. I basically have that story all planned out. It's trapped in my mind. It's saying, "Let me out, Zane. Let me out. Let me out." It's been years. What's going on? Let me out.
That do be how most directors have it.
Okay, I'll be fully honest. Your film has like kind of made me go, could I make one? And then I think about it, and my mind goes like in tons of different directions.
Do it, do
But,
it,
but
do it.
I can't.
Do it, do it.
Hold on. I've got a phone call.
Hello. It's got to be the snap phone call. Hello. Right, well,
Hearing this, and welcome back to Five Nights at Freddy's.
As I was saying, as much as I would like to, I can't really make one because, like, I know what I want to make will never live up to what's in here. And, like, even then, I'm not really sure if I have the time between, like, making stuff for my own YouTube channel, making stuff for Orca, making universities coming up in, like, a month.
You're in debt.
Okay, and okay, so I have to ask you a question. If that's your question, then here's the thing. Do you think you can have an idea and then commit to finishing said idea?
I've started 3 shows and I didn't finish any of them.
There's your answer. You can't do it.
Cringe.
But I did finish Dinosaur King.
That is true, but that was with our help.
All right.
I do think the main problem with me making my project is that, like,
Hang on.
nobody is there, like, pushing me to do it.
So basically, okay, here's what you gotta do. Every time you're doing a project and you're feeling down, message me and I'll give you some sort of motivational speech, or I'll just yell at you to finish.
They got the views.
For one, I did attempt to make a short movie once, or with a producer. It's so they can be there and, like, nudge me to do it. And, like, we were supposed to have like weekly call sessions to talk about the process on it, and we only did one.
Hmm.
That is when I was pitching the project.
Is there any other scenes in particular that you want to ask about that happened in the movie?
Yes, the time travel stuff.
Yes.
Okay, you had me listening to Squeeze Me for like a week straight. Like after the movie finished, I was like listening to Squeeze Me on just repeat.
So I guess I'll just explain that a little bit. Why I chose "Squeeze Me" out of all music.
Yeah, it's
Although,
from.
do you know why?
Yeah, it's from SpongeBob Out of Water, isn't it?
Yes.
That's
It's-
where it
it's
was
only
from. I was like, there's 100% a reference there, and I recognised it. I couldn't remember for the life of me where it was from. But wait,
It's the scene where SpongeBob and Plankton are just traveling through time, and the music just plays, and random imagery just pops up.
but I'm sorry, you referenced not the best SpongeBob movie though.
I'm aware.
But
Actually,
it's funny.
I still wanted to include that scene because it's like, oh dear,
It's perfect
pipe.
for your movie.
went around the wrong pipe. Okay. Anyway, when that happens, I'm like, I see that. I'm like, okay, I want to include that. I really want to include that in there
remake
because it's
it.
like every time I think time travel, is it supposed to be epic? No, I want to go silly, and I just chose that. And I just chose the randomest dinosaur images I could find and threw them in there.
That was good.
I will say a bit of a directing critique here, but I do think it would have been better if either you kept the dinosaurs consistent with the models that you had, or if you did it practically.
By practically, what do you mean?
I mean, like I was imagining, like, do you know those ball things that like send light everywhere?
I think I know what you're talking about.
I do think it would have been better if instead of like going through the animation, if like instead you had one of those going off, and you got like random, and you had shots of the Millennium
Millennium Falcon.
in order to keep consistency between the Millennium Falcons, because like you have the toy of the one from Solo, but you use the pictures of one from Force Awakens.
Kevin, did you know about this?
Because like yours has the front filled in, your toy.
Actually, yeah. Is there any more critiques about the film? We should end it on some criticism for going forward.
I do have like a few. I do have a think. I do have a think like it would have been good if you kept consistency in the animation in particular, like with the Millennium Falcons changing,
Okay, you just said that.
and with the dinosaurs changing in the sequence. Oh no! So question: why
Yes?
was Golden Thomas back in time?
He was just lost in time.
Was there no prior context to that?
Well, I think at the time I had already come up with something in mind, but I didn't like put it in the movie because it wasn't really that relevant. All you need to know is that he was a lost time traveler.
I was just thinking, like, is this something from Solo's Dinosaurs?
Oh, something like no, this is not something. This has no connection to like Sword of Dinosaur because it's like he was just time traveling and he got lost, and then he was preparing it. Like, well, he didn't get lost. It's more like his time machine broke. He spent a lot of time fixing it, and he was ready to pack his things, ready to go back home, and he comes back and sees his time machine is just gone.
Okay, and I've got really only two other complaints.
Hit it with me. Literally, just grab a bat and hit him at me. Ah.
And like, it's mainly like I love all of the segments when they're back in time, except the one with Carnivorous and Dimetrodon. I don't know why, but like to me, that part in particular feels very slow to me.
I think it's because they spend a bit of time talking a little bit too much, I guess?
Yeah,
Maybe?
I don't know.
Could have had a little more of the action, I suppose?
I don't know, but and the only other like slight complaint I have is with the female Ceratosaurus. And like her second line of dialogue is like her flirting with the Ceratosaurus.
You didn't like that one?
And I'm not really that big of a fan. Like, as soon as this character's introduced, all of a sudden love interest.
Well, it's like a small side character anyway, so
Yeah, it
it's not
doesn't.
that big.
It doesn't really matter, but it does irk me like a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, that's about it. That's all the complaints, right?
Yeah,
From him,
from me.
yeah. Oh, your show is awful. It's terrible. You should wipe it off.
No, YouTube already did that.
No, it's lovely. Here comes the compliment sandwich. One complaint. Get female friends.
What?
Come on, you need to have some actual women voices.
I didn't understand what you said earlier. Now I understand it.
Mm.
I need to find a girlfriend.
Not really.
Or just a friend who is a girl.
Friend. I need to find a friend who is a girl who can voice act.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin, do you have one?
I have many. It's fine.
But other than that, I'll just stick to my high-pitched voice. It's like I can do all these different types of male voices, and then the female, it's just all the same high-pitched voice.
It just does not sound like it.
And can you two do better, though?
Yes.
No, not
Very well.
really. Like,
That's
this is
your,
like my best attempt.
that's your falsetto voice.
Is it?
Yes. Or your head voice, or I don't know, it changes.
Yeah, hit us with it. Hit us with the voice.
But like, it doesn't in my head. It's in the back of my throat.
That's up here that you're doing this.
Wait. But
You're just doing this.
I guess I go a little bit higher, but then it's trying to sound like Ceratosaurus Jr.
You're just doing Mickey Mouse. Oh.
I think I turned into Titanosaurus there. I mean, you're swinging around a golf club there.
is that a golf club?
Probably not, but
No,
it's
it's a
too
back
small.
scratcher. Sorry, let me scratch your back.
Why do you have a back scratcher? Just like use your hands. Is that all we have to say?
And then...
Oh,
No, that was it.
go on.
That was it.
Oh.
That was it. Honestly, like, not gonna lie, I don't really know half the stuff I'm saying at the moment. I'm zonked. I'm in zombie mode.
He's zonked.
I'm zombie mode, presenting zombie mode. And my main complaint is that, this would be a bit more of a discussion though. I don't know if I can't remember if it was in this one so much, but the self-referential, not self-referential humour, like the fourth wall breaking sort of humour. I noticed you like to do that a lot.
Yeah, hang on.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to remember if I did it this movie or not.
A few times.
That's what I mean, yeah, like I'm trying to...
There was one obvious one in like the first one I made, but then that was in like the original version, and it was cut out in the recent re-edition. Like, cause I had to remake. Yeah, I had to remake the remake because YouTube.
So was there no real point to that complaint?
No, I mean there is. It's like it's a bit hard to articulate it. That's why I was like stalling for so long. Fourth wall break jokes are really awkward to do with, unless you're doing so. It's really weird. It's really weird with them because I feel like, especially directors in general. I'm talking about in general here at the moment. They try to be clever with it, but it does come off as like quite. Yeah, like I mean, prime example of this was in like the Peter Rabbit movie, like the James Corden Rabbit did many fourth wall breaks. Like the writers were trying to be clever, but it just comes off as it does throw you out of the movie because it's just like because they pretty much just say what's literally going to happen, and it's just like okay, I don't. I even have some critiques with that with Deadpool, because he was like, a joke was, oh, here comes a big CGI fight, fourth wall break, get on right, go. And then there was literally a big CGI fight. I'm like, right, so he called out a thing, but then still did the thing.
How's that relevant towards Zane?
My relevancy here is that when it comes to fourth wall break humor, you have to be very careful with it. Otherwise, it can feel as though the writer tries to be too clever, and it just comes off as a bit breaks you out the film. I know it's, as I say, literally breaks the fourth wall. Who would have guessed? I feel like a couple of times it did do that, but that's okay. That's okay. It's not that, honestly, you're not as bad as like probably main movies who do it more, especially that Peter Rabbit movie. Every time there's a fourth wall break, I just groaned. It was so awful. It's like, oh, this is the part where they're gonna be sad for a bit, and then they're gonna cheer up because I'm gonna do that. I'm like, mate, movie, don't literally just say what's about to bloody happen.
And this is why I don't break the fourth wall.
It's a weird thing, and it's hard. This is where I was like hesitating on critiquing it, because it's hard to describe it, the issue with it, without sounding too rude or sounding like I don't get the point of a fourth wall joke. Well, I was curious. Do you have a response to that though, Zane? Is that just?
I don't know how to because you're kind of lost. Wait. So I guess
I'm just asking. Have I completely talked out my ass, or are you understood what I said, or do you just completely disagree with me?
Because like the way I see, because like my sense of humor is like all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
So like even really stupid things make me laugh. So even though I know fourth wall humor, it's probably like, as you just stated, is like probably not funny to a lot of people. Like I'm not sure how Indominus feels about it on fourth wall. He said, judging by how he says he doesn't break it, he probably doesn't find it funny either. I personally find it funny, so like I do it quite often.
For me, it does depend on for example, like most of the Deadpool fourth wall jokes work.
Oh yeah.
There's only a couple of them that I would critique, but don't like the entirety of like the Peter Rabbit fourth wall breaks.
I will say the main reason why I don't break a fourth wall is mainly because like it's weird, because like my videos like highly rely on comedy, but like whenever I'm like somewhat professionally writing something, there's barely any jokes.
I think for me, like fourth wall. So I think I'm just trying to think, because I know in like Movies United, like early Movies United, I did it like very often. Or like
that's probably what I'm thinking of, and I might be like translating the critique unintentionally.
Or maybe Sodor's. Maybe you're thinking of Sodor's Dinosaurs, because I do it very often there.
Yeah, but that's Sodor's Dinosaurs.
I know
exactly.
Yeah, I probably am just talking out my ass. So
because I'm genuinely trying to think of a time I actually, that aside from that one time in the first movie that's been removed now, that I actually broke the fourth wall again, and I can't think of it. And meanwhile, like my mind immediately thinks to like 1 or 2 episodes of Movies United, and pretty much every episode of Sodor's Dinosaurs.
Yeah, I might have gotten stuff mixed up, so I do apologize if I did. But anyway, I mean, but it is a good, like, I guess, thing to notice in the future. Like, be careful with that sort of stuff, because
I'll keep that. I'll definitely keep that advice in mind. But I won't keep that advice in mind when I do Sodor's Dinosaurs, because that show is literally just self-aware.
I mean, as I say, like, it does obviously depend on the genre. Like, obviously, Deadpool was literally made as a character to break the fourth wall, so that's why it works there, but not in a bloody Peter Rabbit film.
So did you catch the Easter egg, or like the big reference in like one of the time travel segments?
I didn't, but Sketchy did, and he told me. Like the whole entire part with Pteranodon.
The war segment.
Yeah, the war segment is like an entire reference to like Epic Dinosaur Battle, I think it's called.
Yes, I believe that's basically one of Hoops and Dino Man's actual videos.
Yeah.
So I got like a little history behind that. when I like that, aside from after watching a Dinosaur story, I also watched that video, and I saw his T-Rex story. I'm like, hey, I have that T-Rex. So I always associated that character as the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then eventually one day, like somewhere like 2010 or something, I found the Triceratops.
Oh.
The exact Triceratops. I'm like, yes. And I've always associated those two characters with that video. And even before I came to making the third movie, I was like, I gotta incorporate that video in somehow. And I did.
Yes.
And I'm very glad that immediately when that was playing, like someone was able to point it out.
Mm-hmm.
So that made me really happy.
Okay, so I just love the joke. Hey, it's that weird thing I saw when I was a teenager.
Yes.
That's the line that made me go, okay, I don't want to voice this character. I want Zane to voice him. Okay, Zane. You have truly created, like... I'm being fully honest here. You have truly created, like, something special here. Like, first off, and a lot of times people don't get to complete their projects like me. And, like... And even when they do, a lot of the time it's not good. But like, you somehow managed. You did a great job at it. And like, I remember I saw a comment on the first Dinosaur Story remake, and it was basically comparing your movie to a Disney remake. But like, no. I completely disagree with that comment. I think it seems like you've put infinitely more passion and heart into this trilogy than what's gone into most of the Disney live-action remakes.
All of them. Except for probably like Jungle Book, which was...
Yeah,
like,
I like the Jungle Book one.
But other than that, all of them.
Yeah.
I hate Lion King. I hate it so much. I haven't even watched it, but I know enough context about it, and I hate it.
I could not stand Aladdin.
Cute, like,
Says the
Will
guy
Smith
who
meme.
voices Will Smith.
And then he slaps Chris Rock.
That just clicked.
So, in conclusion, the world shall bow down to your knees because you have made it a masterpiece.
Yes.
Something greater than the Mona Lisa.
You
greater than
made me
Bohemian Rhapsody.
emotional about dinosaur toys.
Something greater than any other Hollywood can produce. This is the Holy Grail. But the thing is, nobody's going to know it in your lifetime. It's like one of those like dead artist thing. Like as soon as the artist dies, their artwork, woo, like millions of pounds. This is what's going to happen to you. I 100% guarantee it.
I think we should move on to that
That
comment.
is certified guarantee. That comment that we're about to say now is completely wrong. What was that comment?
Like, was it positive or negative?
Which comment? We're talking about that comment, right?
That comment.
You said the person who left that comment on the first video left one on the second one. I mean,
Oh,
third
yeah.
one.
You didn't see that one, did you?
No.
Okay. Said something about like how, hey, I'm glad I wasn't a part of this dumpster fire.
Yeah, or was that one about the second one? I mean, the third one.
The third one.
I'm legitimately pissed.
Just remember, one last regret about the movie.
Go
The
on.
Bakugan. I never explained why I regret including the Bakugan.
Right. Okay, go on.
Because it was such a pain to set them all up. Because you know how a lot of Bakugan have artificial parts that have to, like, they pop open, but then some of them you have to move out the legs, you have to pull out the horn, you have to pull out a wing. It's like a whole ordeal.
Mm-hmm.
And then some Bakugan, like, you know the scene where the Bakugan are all rolling out and jumping on the gate cards?
Yeah.
That scene took 9 minutes. Yes, in real film, it took 9 minutes of me just rolling Bakugan and them, because I kept missing the card. And sometimes it just turned out backwards.
No,
Like,
so
I roll up, they just turn out backwards, or they fall off the card. It's like,
When I saw that shot, I knew in my head that I thought, yeah, this definitely took like 50 hours just to get.
50 hours, 2 straight days.
And the worst part is I did that part twice. I did it twice. Because I wasn't satisfied with the first time I filmed it, so I did it twice.
But it looks
Actually,
good,
I wasn't
though.
satisfied with it because of the lighting. Because I was filming for so long that by the time I got to the Bakugan scene, the sun was already setting and the room was getting darker.
Really?
Yeah.
I have a tip for you, buddy.
Is he gonna blow the light? Yeah, he's pulling it. Is that a light?
Is that a
or-
gun?
Just for the record, you can't get
Oh no,
guns.
it's worse! It's a lightsaber!
I will say, I do
Oh,
need.
he's a Sith!
He's
Oh,
Mace Windu.
True Jedi Master.
I need to get myself some lighting because, like, when I'm recording my reviews, I only have like a few hours to record until it's night.
Honestly, for me down here, I have good lighting, but I do have some extra stage lights, but they just run out of batteries so quickly.
Oh, these ones are really good. I could, yeah, although they look like a lightsaber, they are just actually just like a I'll blind myself so you can guys see. It's just like a bob.
Casually blinds himself with green.
Oh, I could just see Yodas everywhere. Oh.
Light I have. Any last closing remarks before we end the podcast?
Make more. I want more. Also, I want to voice act more. So make more.
I was going to quote the Dilophosaurus line, but like he doesn't have any funny lines.
Just say a funny quote with his voice. Actually, let's just all have one of our characters make a funny quote.
Eat the rich.
You'll never find. Where's the music?
He's
Come
just
on.
gonna sing a song.
One of my main
quote.
Go on.
My quote. Hold on. I have the character for the quote.
Someone who needs you, tender like I do.
Let's kidnap my children is forcing me to fight in a bunch of wars.
You'll never see
Sure.
what
I
you
just forgot
found
that.
in me.
How I managed to put in a primal reference in every movie.
My main one of my main takeaways from the movie is that Orca needs to sing more.
Yes. I shall in the next movie. I shall give one of his characters a full musical number.
He gets to write the song.
We should just give him a silly song to sing.
Ah, yes. Welcome to Silly Songs.
Thank you everybody so much for watching. Here has been in Dinosaur 1 alongside
Zane Reborn alongside
It's a good pizza.
him.
Oh,
him.
Roaring to victory.
raw.
Roar!
What do you say roaring to victory?
I don't know.
Who roars to victory?
Me.
Rexy.
Literally every dinosaur.
Dog.